Okay, so welcome to episode number 3 of JustInTime YouTube show. For this episode, yours truly will host. Bart and Neil have the day off. Okay, remember 2020? We started the year, innocently enough. Resolutions were made, gyms were briefly populated, and then bam, the world decided to collectively lose its mind over toilet paper. Yes, toilet paper. I mean, I get it. Pandemic on the horizon. Potential quarantine looming. But why toilet paper? Was everyone suddenly eating Taco Bell 3 meals a day? The images from those days are burned into my memory. Empty shelves, shopping cart brawls, and the smug faces of people who clearly owned bidets. It was like Black Friday, but for bodily hygiene. So the rumors were true. The whispers and the hushed conversations about a mysterious virus were no longer just hearsay. COVID-19 wasn't just a bad cold, and it wasn't staying in China. It was spreading across borders, making its presence felt in every corner of the globe. This virus was a global traveler, spreading faster than misinformation on Twitter. It was everywhere, and it was relentless. Suddenly we were all amateur epidemiologists, debating the merits of masks and the airborne lifespan of a sneeze. Conversations about viral load and transmission rates became common. Remember flatten the curve? It was the phrase on everyone's lips right after, is it safe to microwave this mask? We were all trying to do our part, even if it meant some bizarre new habits. And let's not forget the sourdough bread obsession. Flour and yeast became hot commodities, and everyone was suddenly a bread making expert. Everyone became an artisanal baker overnight, posting photos of their crusty creations like proud parents. Social media was flooded with images of golden brown loaves. I'm pretty sure I gained 10 pounds just looking at Instagram. The endless stream of delicious-looking food photos was both a blessing and a curse during those lockdown days. To counteract all the snacking, many turned to home workouts and virtual fitness classes. Living rooms became gyms, and yoga mats were the new must-have accessory. And let's not forget the virtual happy hours and family Zoom calls. We found new ways to stay connected, even when we were miles apart. Through it all, we showed our appreciation for healthcare and essential workers, clapping from balconies and putting up signs of gratitude. That didn't last long, but I digress. It was a time of uncertainty, but also of community and resilience. Lockdown. Remember that word? It felt like a dystopian movie plot, except the special effects budget went entirely to creating that weird, spiky virus model. Suddenly our homes became our entire world. Well, not me, but we will get to that.
We worked, played, slept. We tried desperately not to yell at our families, all within the same 4 walls. Zoom calls became the norm, complete with awkward silences and the occasional cat walking across the keyboard.
We baked, we gardened, we tried to learn new languages. Remember that guitar you swore you'd master? Yeah, me neither. Alright. Remember Tiger King? course you do. It was the cultural reset we didn't ask for, but desperately needed. Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin, that guy who lost his arm to a tiger. It was like a fever dream you couldn't wake up from.
And it wasn't just Tiger King. We had The Last Dance, where Michael Jordan reminded us he was the GOAT and also kind of a jerk. We had the Versus battles, where musical legends faced off in epic Instagram Live showdowns.
2020 was weird, man. Remember those early Zoom calls? It feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? When we all scrambled to figure out how to connect virtually, navigating the new normal of remote communication.
Oh, the awkward angles, the questionable lighting, and the constant fear that your cat would choose that exact moment to walk across your keyboard. It was a comedy of errors, a daily sitcom starring us and our unpredictable home environments.
It was the Wild West of remote work, and we were all just trying to survive. Makeshift desks, balancing laptops on stacks of books, and finding a quiet corner became our new reality.
We transformed our bedrooms, kitchens, and for the lucky few, closets into makeshift offices. Every space was fair game and creativity was key. Some even turned their laundry rooms into workspaces.
We learned to mute ourselves on instinct and perfected the art of looking interested while wearing sweatpants. The mute button became our best friend, and we mastered the skill of nodding thoughtfully while multitasking.
The line between work and life blurred faster than a watercolor painting left out in the rain. Our homes became our offices, and our offices became our homes, creating a blend of chaos and comfort.
And don't even get me started on Zoom fatigue. Hours of staring at screens, trying to stay engaged, left us more exhausted than ever before.
It was a real thing, people. The constant video calls, the endless meetings, and the lack of physical interaction took a toll on all of us. But through it all, we adapted, we learned, and we found new ways to connect and collaborate.
Section 6, essential workers, the real heroes of 2020.
While many of us were safely ensconced in our makeshift home offices, there were countless others who didn't have that luxury.
Doctors, nurses, grocery store clerks, delivery drivers. These everyday heroes braved the unknown, putting their lives on the line to keep society functioning.
They were the ones stocking our shelves, delivering our packages, and caring for the sick and vulnerable.
They were the true MVPs of 2020, and we owe them a debt of gratitude that words can't repay. Section 7, from memes to movements, finding humor and hope.
Despite the chaos and uncertainty, 2020 also revealed the resilience of the human spirit.
We found ways to connect, to support each other, and to find humor in the darkest of times.
Memes became our coping mechanism, offering shared laughter and a sense of community.
We banged pots and pans in solidarity with healthcare workers, and we found creative ways to support local businesses struggling to stay afloat.
2020 reminded us that even in the face of adversity, hope and humanity can prevail.
Section 8, 2020, a year we'll never forget, even though we might try. It was a year that started with so much promise, but quickly turned into something none of us could have predicted. So there you have it. A year that brought us closer together, even when we were miles apart. We found new ways to celebrate, to connect, and to say goodbye. 2020, the year that felt like a decade, where each month brought a new challenge, a new headline, and a new reason to feel overwhelmed. The year that tested our patience, our resolve, and our ability to adapt to a constantly changing world. Our sanity and our sourdough baking skills. Who knew that bread making would become a national pastime? It was a year of unprecedented challenges, where the streets were empty, but our hearts were full of hope and determination. But it was also a year of incredible resilience, where we found strength in the most unexpected places, creativity, and yes, even humor. We laughed to keep from crying and found joy in the little things. We learned to adapt, to innovate, and to appreciate the simple things in life, like toilet paper, apparently. Who could forget the great toilet paper shortage of 2020? We learned the importance of community, the power of human connection, and the enduring appeal of Joe Exotic's fashion choices. In a year of chaos, we found moments of clarity and connection. Section 9, a moment of earnest reflection. Don't worry, it's short.
But in all seriousness, for a moment, let's acknowledge the very real toll that COVID-19 took on the world.
Lives were lost. Families were shattered. And the world changed in ways we're still grappling with today.
To those who lost loved ones, our hearts go out to you.
Your grief is real, and it's okay to not be okay.
And to everyone else, let's carry the lessons of 2020 with us. The importance of kindness, empathy, and appreciating the preciousness of life.